Mm-hmm.
A
Mm-hmm.
ghetto him, nigga.
Yeah, man,
Ghetto him.
we in these streets.
A ghetto him.
What's going on, everybody, man? It's the motherfucking Wave Report. It's your boy, Young One Jonah, a.k.a. Mr. Nappy Dreads.
It's your boy Joe Waters, aka Mr. Keep the Same Energy.
It's Tremonte, aka Above Average, aka Flaccid.
Yo,
Ah,
My nigga this big with his whip. You can't do that with it, though.
Flaccid man.
wow,
Oh!
wow. I'm putting that on
Hey.
the
I'm a
shirt.
flaccid,
ASAP.
man.
I'm a Flaccid man.
Putting that on the shirt.
You mean-
ASAP.
Oh,
Wave
my
Report
God.
merch. Wave Report merch.
Yeah.
Wave report,
Early.
man. Yeah, all day.
We in this bitch, though, man.
Can't even ask the
God
same
damn it,
question.
you fucked me up, bro. what we been up to, though, gentlemen?
Man, we been chilling, creating,
That's a fact.
trying to plan this Wave Report party for 2020.
No, that's a fact.
Y'all
Also,
slide through, man.
Where there be
Drinks
butt-
on Joe.
where there be butt nigga
I'm
hoes,
sorry,
man.
what? Nah.
You
yeah,
bring
man.
bring some ecstasy. It's a bunch of naked people in there.
Let me see what I can do.
Nah, man, life good, man. Just out here working, getting back to battling.
That's good.
You know, got a couple battles coming up, got a couple bags coming up. But none of that stopped the wave. You feel me? The wave keep going. The wave don't stop. The wave don't die. So, you know, just working. Man.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
yeah.
doing. Take.
Nah, wave don't die. they
The
just
wave
crash
don't
it.
die. Hey, I've been chilling, man. Low key. I guess for 2020, man. As y'all know, it's been documented on the Wave Report. I'm going to go get my master's degree
It's a fact.
and then go get my PhD.
Salute, my nigga.
So Wave Report is going to help fund this shit because this shit is expensive.
Big facts, big facts.
And one day I'll be in a position to help y'all. You know, if you have a podcast up in Pum, that's actually something I want to do. I want to talk to y'all about. Our podcast is going to be successful. You know what I mean? It is successful considering where we come from. And one day I think we're going to do something where we help other podcasts get to where y'all want to be. So we're going to have y'all use us as resources, and we're going to help you be successful because it's not good with just us being successful and
That's a fact.
y'all not. So we're going to help everybody out in the way we can.
And I'm gonna tax that pocket.
I mean, nothing's free. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen. Hey, nothing's free. nigga.
Everything
Nothing's
has
free.
Everybody has its price.
Yeah,
You know
nothing's
what I
free,
mean?
man.
All right,
We
fellas,
giving
I
our
got a
time.
question.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
a question. Is society overly sensitive?
Fuck yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Absolutely, yes.
Overly sensitive.
Super sensitive.
Overly sensitive. Everybody thinks people they're getting attacked when someone says something about them. And that's not always the case, man. Not always the case.
You want to know how I know you sensitive? Because somebody posted a subliminal post that had nothing to do with you, and you took it as they were talking directly to you.
People
That's
do that
how I
a
know
lot.
you are super sensitive.
You don't do that a
right?
lot.
You know why, right? If the
'Cause-
shoe fit.
Hey.
But see, that's the thing. Like some of y'all just literally like I seen like yo, come on, man. Like every meme ain't about you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, come on.
Every time a shorty that you used to date say something about ain't niggas, maybe that's about you. But everything ain't about you, bro. Like you or sis, hun,
Yeah.
dear, everything ain't about you, yo. Like
Overly
you can't take
sensitive.
everything. If you take everything for it being about you, but people don't put your name on it, yeah, you describe this you describe this segment perfectly. You can't be that person who just says you know, somebody disliked my or I didn't get a certain amount of likes on my picture, so
Right.
you know, people don't love me. You gotta value yourself more than likes and comments.
People value being a victim now.
Mm.
People value being a victim over everything. So people think they're getting bullied all the time. But people think if yeah, and also if you're an artist or you're an entertainer, you're going to be subject to criticism for as long as you live. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are. It doesn't matter how great you think you are within yourself. Honestly, that should be enough. You should be content with that. But if you're somebody who puts out art, if you're someone who's always creating, people are always going to have something to say about you. And most of the time, it's the closest people to you. Those are people you got to focus on. Because you're going to have outsiders like, I don't like this, or I think that's dope. Pay attention to those who are close to you that always say they support you. they're going to criticize you the hardest because they're not doing what you're doing. But people have this sensitivity level, and it's only going to get worse.
That, though.
Go ahead.
I want to challenge that. Now, I'm open to criticism for the people that's closest to me. I don't give a fuck about the people who not.
So you're open to criticism from people. Well, why are you open to the criticism of people closest to you?
If you wind up close to me, you should have my best interest. Or I believe you have my best interest. So if you tell me some shit, hey man, hey, blah 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 blah, I'm gonna take it as, oh yeah, he want to help me get this better. You know what I mean? That's just my circle. I know a lot of niggas don't build circles properly.
No.
I get it.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, damn right.
I think he can be a fine line.
But the people who a lot of times support you the most are the outsiders.
Yeah, they support what we crafted on the inside, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like
That's true. I'll give you that.
Here.
That's true. I'll give you that. But society is going to get worse though. It's not going to get to the point where people like not overly sensitive. That's not going to happen.
Nah.
It's going to stay in the same space for a while because this is the culture we've kind of fostered over time. You say you want freedom of expression and a space to just say how you feel, but whenever you say, we do have freedom of speech, but there are consequences to that. You can't just say whatever you want and then not receive any flack back. That's not how things go.
Did it come from PC culture?
I would say yes, 100%. The culture is different, man. Like,
Joe, who's to say what's politically correct or not, though?
Right.
Overly sensitive people. Overly sensitive people are who say that.
That's real shit. What is the politically correct hierarchy? How does this shit work?
You get a whole bunch of overly sensitive people in high positions. That's all it is. That's 100% what it is. Where did the word politically correct even come from?
So that's what we trying to get.
Where
does it derive from? I don't know. I don't even like saying that shit.
I don't know. I'm far from politically correct. So I don't
But
Thank you
right,
for watching a non. I would like to say that the Wave Report and all its subsidiaries are not politically correct. So if you don't like our show, you do not have to watch anymore. You can be a last time listener or a last time viewer.
Listener.
So
Not a
pretty
first
much,
time listener, last
pretty
time
much
listener.
what I'm saying is, pretty much what I'm saying is, Jonah said he basically described everything that I was just saying. So if you don't like us, to be honest, you can kick rocks. If you support us, we thank you. If you don't, we don't really need you. We thank you, but we gonna always get more love than we get hate. And if the hate ever comes more than the love, then that just means we doing what we supposed to be doing.
It should get too deep because you talk about freedom of speech and politically correct verbiage, but we're in a democracy. I should be able to say what the fuck I want to say.
Come on,
You can't. Because
I should be able to say what I want, especially if it's against the regime and the powers that be, and not be. See what I'm saying?
But
I should be able to say that and live like that.
They clearly say whatever they want.
I mean,
Clearly.
just turn on the news right now.
Come on, man.
He clearly says whatever he wants. He's grabbing pussies.
Come on, man.
It's fake news. He clearly says everything he wants.
Come on,
So
man.
if he can say clearly everything he wants, that should set the standard that we can say anything that we want whenever we want to say anything.
There are still
that we
people
want.
who won't express how they feel though.
Yeah, out of fear.
But where's the fear of what? Nothing's gonna.
Fear of losing their job.
Their standing.
I've never seen anybody, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, who said how they really felt without talking about their job. If you talk about your job can fire you. I'm talking about if you work somewhere, if you're employed, I can say what the fuck I want as long as I don't say nothing about my company and get fired. I've never seen that happen.
Hey, man. People.
Have you seen that happen?
I've seen people.
I've seen people say stuff about their job and get fired. But I'm talking about, I'm just like on social media just saying whatever I want. And my job is like,
people
yeah,
say stuff about people and lose their job. Like,
I mean, but just think about where can you speak about an entity and just
because
get
it was
away
deemed
with it.
racist.
You can't be a Crip and be like, man, I ain't gonna front, man. The Crips is trash this week.
you out of there.
Yeah, you know.
You
You understand what I'm saying?
Hey,
But like, if you think like you can't really speak about an organization
You
of
outta there.
any sort,
You outta there.
and
Yeah.
You speak,
That's right.
You speak ill about your block.
Yeah, that's clear.
Once
You outta there.
once that information get out, you know what I
outta
mean.
there.
You getting dealt with. So I don't know
You outta there.
where that actually happens.
You out of there.
That's clear. But what about those situations where people say something and it's deemed like the society, the people deem it insensitive, and they end up losing their job, getting suspended.
Give me an example.
Et cetera.
Kevin Hart.
Give me an example.
Or
Which one? Which
The Oscars.
example?
Jamel Hill, You know what I mean?
Definitely Jamel Hill. I think, to be honest,
she's speaking
both.
her mind.
Right.
For
and she always has.
So for Jamel Hill's situation, she worked for a company that she thought had her back, and found out in the worst way that they didn't know.
Don't we all work for companies that think have our back?
No, that ain't true. That ain't true.
You are a slave.
I don't think no company has my back.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, but I think Jamel Hill thought ESPN would.
Oh,
back
oh,
her
that's what you
in
said
that
with her. Yeah,
situation.
yes,
and
yes, she
said
did.
that. Like she thought
Yeah.
ESPN would back her in that situation, and found out very abruptly that nah, they wouldn't.
Right.
So they basically buried her, gave her a chance to shine until the pressure mounted, and they folded like bed sheets. So I mean,
The
Folded
examples.
like that,
So
funny.
Jamel Hill, to your point, one thing, the biggest difference, I think, between Jamel Hill and Kevin Hart is Kevin Hart's a comedian. Jamel Hill is somebody who's, I think she's more socially aware than Kevin Hart is. Kevin Hart is aware,
at the same
but
time,
he's also aware of his brand, and he wants to protect his brand more than Jamel Hill wants to protect her brand. Jamel Hill didn't apologize either. Kevin Hart did.
She didn't need to.
at the same time.
No, I don't think Kevin Hart needed to.
At
You
the
think
same
Kevin Hart
time-
needed to apologize?
At the same time, the Kevin Hart situation should have never happened. It should have never existed, bro. It's
When you're a black person, though.
no, period.
When you're a black person, Joe.
My feeling. Hold on, you gotta understand my.
Go ahead.
Hey,
Go
somebody's
ahead.
gonna dig this shit up 20 years from now.
You have
I
to
don't give a
understand.
fuck.
You have to. Yeah,
Get this
I don't care.
motherfucker.
Like,
I help you dig it up. You
You
can
have
dig it
to
up.
understand
Come
what I
see me,
feel.
ho.
Like what I feel about it.
Okay.
What I say is what I say.
Okay.
I don't. If you got questions about it, is there an explanation in what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Then you ain't getting an explanation in what I'm saying now.
Okay.
What I said, what I said.
Mm-hmm.
You like it or you love it or you hate it. I don't care.
But do you think that?
Kevin Hart should have never have.
I completely
needed
agree.
to apologize.
No, I agree with what you're saying, 100%. However, do you both think that you don't have to kind of watch what you say as a black person because they're going to dig it back up?
I mean, on
Yeah, you
social
gotta
media,
tightrope sometimes.
on social media,
I don't
you
like
should.
That's funny that you say that because you're like probably the most expressive out of us all,
Yeah, and
which is saying a lot because me and Joe don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, y'all saw the Reckless video. Come on,
Yeah.
we don't give no fuck.
But why do you feel you have the tightrope, even as an artist, isn't as somebody who's not?
Because of the question, because society is overly sensitive.
Do you think that some things are off limits, like some things you shouldn't say?
This is what I believe. I believe that we are so far removed from the truth when we see it, it hurts.
All right,
Keep going.
you turned the tide for me. turn the tide
The
for me.
truth hurts so fucking much that we would rather tuck tail and run from it and live in this facade. We in a simulation, man. We in a self-created simulation. We don't know what's real anymore.
Okay.
We've created layers so we can't get touched because the truth hurts that much to some. Not realizing if you embrace that motherfucker, it's healing.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm all for whatever benefits a person's mental health, but
Hiding from shit ain't helping.
that's something that
Have you noticed the increase in anxiety and depression in the
yeah.
world?
Why?
It spiked.
That's
Yes.
because we running.
Yeah.
which
we are.
is why
We are.
I have a strong belief that therapy helps everybody. And in saying that, not necessarily just promoting me or anything like that, therapy helps people because it gives you an opportunity to release. Because some people have anxiety from invisible issues.
Yeah.
It's only tangible when you pick up your phone and open up an application.
That's right.
Anxiety should not come from there.
Okay.
Anxiety should come from torment of some sort. It should not come from John unfollowed me and blocked me on Facebook. It shouldn't come from that.
People are like that.
Anxiety, to be honest, I look at an ex-soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Anxiety can be a loud noise for you. Anxiety can be not being downrange right now. Like it could be, I was free when I had my brothers in arms. I was free when, even though the life is difficult, but actually being home and not being PCS'd right now,
Okay.
I'm a little nervous because I'm so used to a deployment that being home just makes me. There was a movie that it was called The Marine, or there was a movie they made a while ago where the dude pretty much was so used to the life in the military that when he went home, he was anxious. He didn't like his life at home. so he signed up to take another deployment.
I've seen that.
It won an Oscar or something. But that movie, or not that movie, but that person, I can understand that person's anxiety. But somebody's anxiety, oh my gosh, I feel fat today, and you know, like I looked in the mirror and I just didn't like what I see, and I'm so anxious, right? Like that person, you can change that. You can change that part about yourself. You can change your health by eating differently. You can change your mental awareness by becoming aware of less. If you don't log into your Facebook, if you don't log into your Instagram, you didn't lose any day of your life. However, you can lose the anxiety that may come if that's a part of it. If you're in an unhealthy relationship, what happens if you stop being in that unhealthy relationship?
What happens, y'all? What happens?
You get better. Like, you get better. So, yes, people are overly sensitive because they're overly saturated by invisible issues. Social media creates more issues.
Of course.
Than it ever should.
Yeah.
Bro, if you were in a mall right now, you and your girl, and there's 100 different fine or sexy, however you would describe it, people of the opposite sex for both you and your lady. And your lady, out of every 5 people that walks by, she just looks at. Not even like double looks. Like she just looks at. You wouldn't be mad at that. However, some people get issues with if a man does this. I'm scrolling, double tap. I'm scrolling, double tap. Because there's evidence of it, now there's awareness of it, and now it creates an issue. It shouldn't, because when you go out to the niggas will find ass or whatever they looking for everywhere.
Bro, there is
everywhere.
Ass everywhere.
Bro, if you go to Walmart, especially on never mind. If you go to Walmart, certain Walmart's in the hood, you will find any and everything that you're looking for in life.
I was in Walmart on Fletcher.
I was trying to say. I'm just saying, if you go certain places, you will find any and everything that you can lust after. But if you leave a digital footprint of it, to some people it may cause anxiety.
It does cause a lot of anxiety.
Exist.
Social,
it's an invisible issue.
Any new creation.
Why, my nigga?
Any new creation will bring about new problems. That's how it is.
Man, fuck all that, bro. I think it lies with the people. It ain't this fault. It ain't this fault. It ain't that camera fault. It ain't my hairline fault. It ain't my shirt fault. It ain't a cologne fault. Bitch, you masking your problem. You know what the problem is?
What?
Trust issues. And why we got these trust issues? Trauma or adopted trauma. What do I mean by adopted trauma? Well, you heard or saw your aunt go through some bullshit with some niggas. You don't want to end up like your aunt, because you see how her life panned out. She went through some shit. So you associate anything that's nearly close to that to your situation just to make sure that your nigga ain't doing the same thing that happened to your motherfucking aunt. So you trying to, hey, no, it hurts my feelings when you look and there's a bitch there. Well, bitch, I got a crook in my neck and I'm trying to get my shit straight.
Fam.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like, I can't tightrope for a female that has these adopted trauma and or even some real trauma. I'm not the healing factor, baby. Relationships ain't gonna heal you. Go by yourself and go get that shit right. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the problem, man. We have a lot of people have issues with certain things that happen to them in life, and certain issues with things that happen to other people in life, and they want to try so hard to have this perfect life that they are willing to stiff arm anything that may fuck up their perceived perfection. You know what I mean? Without even trying to, I don't look with him. Like, hey, shit, what that was? Oh, shit. Yeah, that's it, fat, ain't it, man? Like, enjoy that shit, man. Enjoy that shit, man. Life is, and it ain't even got to be that. It ain't even got to be that. Like, just, like, understand. Understanding is underrated in a motherfucker. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Have some understanding and compassion for your partner. Right. Like, I think a lot of times females are the most. No, I know some sensitive ass niggas.
It depends on what it is. Females are incredibly
but
sensitive.
a lot of females are sensitive, man. They really are sensitive, and they're masking it with different things, man. Have you noticed?
Men, but
Have you noticed this? Have you noticed it?
Yeah.
The bitches you don't expect to do this are doing this now.
yeah.
All right, you ain't gotta do the most.
But men mask it better.
Explain.
Men mask their trust issues and their insecurities through false
don't.
bravado.
We don't mask it better. It's the same thing. The bitch that's doing this and the nigga that's doing this, you know what I'm saying? Flex,
I disagree.
money phone.
I
You know what
disagree.
I'm saying? Money phone. It's the
I
same
disagree
thing.
because every guy is tough on social media now. Every guy.
It ain't all false. They all lying.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't care
That's
how many,
what
I
I'm
don't care
saying.
how many niggas doing it. They all lying.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't care how many bitches doing this. They all lying. All y'all niggas insecure. Under one umbrella. Insecure.
I'm
listen,
sorry.
Some people are more content than others, though.
I'm on this show, not insecure as hell. Like, it's funny to me. Like, I ain't got nothing. I got chichos. I don't care. I'm so happy with me. There's a point where you just gotta become happy with you.
How you get there? How you get there?
Stop giving I just don't care.
Yeah, but how did you get there?
How?
Yeah. How'd you get to the point where you're not as insecure as you once were?
I think he just said it right there.
Nah, I
Not
mean,
giving
to
a
me,
fuck.
like it was a realization of three things. One, I'm flawless, bro. My beard is impeccable. Like, you can't
That's
no,
not
like,
true at all.
It's
It's
never
not true
is
at all.
fuck.
it's impeccable. I'm sorry. It's beautiful. That's one. And two, I mean, sheesh, this side of the Mississippi, I got the better. I'm just saying, for me, I really
Everybody got the best dick in the bottle. They don't know no better.
I'm just saying, I'm comfortable with me. That's all.
Yeah, now that's real. It's something to value being comfortable with yourself.
Are you comfortable with you?
Man, I'm comfortable than a motherfucker. And you know what? This is the scary part. This is the scary part. I ain't even fully settled in yet. Mm-hmm. Boy, the world better watch the fuck out. Nigga, I ain't even fully got
Sex
that
symbol?
Boy, I'm a whole sex symbol in these streets, man. God damn, you see
I'm
this?
just waiting on the merch.
You see this shit?
Are we doing it? Is that Young and Dirty? Are we who's like that means the sex symbol merch is ASAP.
Hey, it's coming. It's coming. I tell you what though, man. I think when you get into that comfort, within, like you exude everything. This is what people don't realize. Everything that's inside of you comes out of you, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're trying to hide it or trying to mask it, it's gonna come out, and it's gonna come out in various forms. And some people can see it. Not everybody. You can fool some, but bitch, you ain't finna fool me, my nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you are the type of person who can't take criticism, if you are the type of person who is insecure, if you are the type of person that has trust issues, etc., it's going to be shown in various different ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't hide it or mask it too long. You need to do something about it.
Are you gonna meet somebody to pull it out of you?
Boy.
Pause.
That happens.
Yeah, pause for sure. For sure.
Hey, cut it out, man. Cut it out, man. I took Joe route though. I took Joe route in life and stopped caring. It didn't happen overnight, obviously.
Right.
It took a while, bumps and bruises.
I can imagine.
But I got there to where I don't care.
Bro, it's like
It's a shame though.
Here's the thing.
And when I say I don't care, I mean I care about the right things in my life. Right. I stopped caring about the shit that don't have any effect on me.
Bro, when you put out authentic energy, it comes back.
Yeah. And when you put out fake energy,
it comes back.
That it does.
What I'm being, like,
that it does.
The second you start being authentic with yourself, you start realizing authentic results about everything around you.
Yeah.
Everything that's coming back. Bro, if you give fake effort at work, you may get some real money. But you ain't gonna get no real success.
And you gonna get really fired. Down the line, somebody gonna notice.
What I'm saying is there's nothing you could do where you could fake it that ultimately you'll end up winning.
How long we been going? We got enough time for another topic?
Hey, thanks for hey, thanks for tuning in to the Wave Report on this episode. YJ's a little confused. Like and subscribe to the channel, please. Let your friends and family know. Let people at work know.
This shit.
Hey, we'll holler at y'all, man.
55 episodes.
I'm out.
Nigga still ain't got it.